Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Music Podcast, where today I have the honor of sitting with Mr. Max Cavalera. Max was the vocalist, of course, guitarist, and founding member of Sepultura. In '96, he starts another hugely influential band and success with Soulfly. Max has been part of so many projects in his career. One of his most recent, of course, is a band called Go Ahead and Die. If that isn't a punk name, I don't know what is. On October 20th of last year, Go Ahead and Die released their sophomore album called Unhealthy Mechanisms. And on this Friday, January 19th, they hit the road for their first U.S. tour. Max, absolute honor, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Good to be here talking to you.
Yeah, it's always great to see you out there doing another project, man. So much great stuff you've done in your career, of course. Soulfly and Sepultura on the top there, but Nail Bomb and Killer Be Killed, just all Cavalera Conspiracy, of course. Now Go Ahead and Die. You're getting ready to tour with this band. This has got to be pretty cool because it's a little bit different than what you've done in the past, right?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of different things involving Go Ahead and Die, which to me is awesome that I get to operate in a different fashion than I do Soulfly, or Cavalera. Go Ahead and Die is really about situation of connecting with my son, but also in a strange way, it keeps me young at heart. Because I get to connect with the more of the underground rawers, the brawlers, the bruisers, get
Definitely.
get down in the grit, get in the trenches, man. And I never shy away from that. That's the thing about me. People that knows me knows that I love the trenches, and it doesn't matter how popular I get or people, yeah, Max, you're a freaking legend. It's like that's killer. I love that, but I'm a freaking soldier. I want to go to the trenches. I want to, feel feel the noise, feel the music, man. And Go Ahead and Die does that, and on a kind of technical side, it's cool. Like we have Jackie playing bass, the first band I had with a female person in the band.
Yeah.
That's something new and different. I'm doing some lead stuff, some dive bombs, a little bit of crazy, Tom Warrior influence solos. And I get to be on the side of the stage. I'm not in the front, not in the center. I'm on the side, which is great. I
That's
let my
cool.
kid, let my kid takes the center of the stage. So those are all fun factors. Like, I'm excited to go on tour. It's a cool tour, man. It's with Body Box, a bunch of other bands. Um,
Ah,
I think like after the pandemic, we all realized how much we love this shit and how much we need live music. I think it's good for your health to play live music and to be at shows. It's good for you. So come on out, people.
yeah, yeah. I can't wait to come out to this one, man. Because of that, it's that small club thing that's just it's in the trenches, man. And I just got done reading the book, your autobiography, of course. I was not aware it was out there. Please, people, go get this book. The autobiography, updated it. My Bloody Roots. I feel like I know you, like I know the family. It was just so well done. It was just a beautiful thing, man. Uh, you
Glad
know,
you enjoy it. I'm
it
glad you
was
enjoy it.
it was great. Your story is great. It's inspiring. Just so many ups and downs, but a light at the end of that tunnel, and so much inspiration comes from that book. Absolutely loved it.
Thanks,
Unhealthy
man.
unhealthy mechanisms. I listen to it and it really gives me, and I don't say this about everything, it gives me a real Rain and Blood kind of feel. um Not just in sound, it is that hardcore punk kind of meets thrash thing, but in production, I think, because it's, all that hardcore stuff that I've liked over the years is usually pretty muddy in production. It sounds like it's off of a cassette from somebody's garage, which kind of makes it what it is. But Rain and Blood kind of transcended that. It was clear, but it was still raw, and I think this record does that as well. It's very clear, and it's really well produced, but not polished. Was that in the intention of the record? And did you guys produce it yourself?
Yeah, so that's kind of like the thing. I let Igor take over a lot of those. It's kind of like I gave him the keys of the car and like, okay, you drive the car now. I'm just gonna sit in the back and enjoy, So he was yeah, he took over on the a lot of the riffs are his, a lot of the lyrics, the idea of the album, the whole mental health subject, and he produced the album as well. But we have a really good friend slash producer Arthur Risk. He mixed the record for us, and I think that's kind of like the magic touch is what Arthur does with all the productions. If you listen to the last things I did, which includes the re-remasters of Sepultura, Morbid Visions, and Bestial Devastation,
Yeah.
Soulfly, Totem, and Go Ahead and Die. All of them had a common X factor, which is Arthur Risk. And
Okay.
Arthur is an awesome guy. He's a great guy. And he's totally connected with that. He knows how to make an album sound, pop. But he doesn't lose the rawness.
Yeah.
So it's still polished, but it's still dirty at the same time. I don't know how he does it
Yeah.
because I think some records once it's polished, it's too polished and it's too clean, and you lose the dirtiness, and you're like kind of frustrated.
Right.
It doesn't happen with Arthur's stuff, but I think like
Oh,
recording wise and the vibes of the song, I gotta give Igor the credit, man, because he was yeah, he ran with this thing like a champ, and I'm very proud of the kid, really coming out on this out of impressing me, because I've been pushed before when I did my records back in the day, like when I did Schizophrenia and Beneath the Remains, and I
yeah.
wanted to install that on him, like I was pushing him the way I was pushed when I was young, and it
Yeah.
really came out on this record. I think it really, and I love the comparison with Raining Blood. I think that's cool. That's awesome. That's high praising for us. That's really
Yeah, like I say, I mean, I won't say that much. That we all know how Rain and Blood is a special record, I think it
yeah.
is because it does that. It bridges that gap between the raw punk thing and the thrash metal. And this record very much like that, where it's produced, but it's not polished. It's still raw and it's still in your
But
face.
it still sounds good as a record.
Right.
That's you still, because I think there's a fine line between um, keeping it raw, but then sometimes if it's too raw, it sounds like shit, and you don't
Mhm.
want that either. You want the record to sound good,
Yeah.
but you don't want it to sound too good that is too polished and too clean.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
a fine line. It's a fine line that we're walking on that razor's edge on this one, but I think it's cool, and I'm so excited that we already rehearsed a bunch of times, and sounds great. This is just balls to the wall energy, it's
I love
it's
it.
it's freaking awesome, and I can't wait for people just to witness this thing live.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, what can we expect from the set list live? Because you've got so many projects, but you've got these two albums, and that's what we're gonna focus on, of course, right? Will you do anything else from any other bands that you're involved with?
Um, we might. We don't.
Okay.
We're gonna keep something to see what a little surprise element.
Yeah. Yeah.
We are playing the whole second record, though, the whole Unhealthy
Okay.
Mechanism. We are playing the entire album, which is
Cool.
cool.
Yeah.
you know, and we're playing a lot of stuff from the first album as well. Um, there's a couple cool things about the set. I think like there's definitely one thing that's really cool is the song Druggle Cop. I don't know if you had the chance to watch the video,
Yep.
but we took made a dark humor kind of video about you know the cops being shitheads, but
Mhm.
in this video it was born the alter ego of Sheriff Buzzkill, which is me
It's
as a
great.
as a metal sheriff. um and we're gonna actually take that a little further. I think during the set when we play Drug Cop, I'm gonna come out with the hat and
Cool.
the
Cool.
sheriff shirt, just having fun
Awesome.
with them. I don't do much of that. So when I get a chance to do it a little bit, it's really cool because it's out of the box. It's out of
Yeah.
the stuff that I do all the time. And I'm just enjoying having fun with it, man. So I think those things are really cool. Apart from that, just the like I said, this kind of music, especially Go Ahead and Die, is made to be played live. It's like
Yep.
I mean, it's great to hear, and get if you're pent up and you got anger, you hate your boss, or there's some shit in your life that it's bugging you. Um, this music is perfect for that, but it's even cooler to be alive and get all those aggressions out, and then especially like smaller venues. You get to touch us, you get to really be close to us, like I say, we're gonna be in the trenches with our crowd, so that's gonna be great.
Oh yeah, and you're playing a place named called Reggie's over here in Chicago, and it's a zoo, man. It's a great venue.
Right.
It is. Oh gosh, I just can't wait. As I listen to the record, I can kind of envision this. And it just it's going to be massive.
That's the word for it. It's apocalyptic.
Yes, apocalyptic, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched that video.
Excited to come to Chicago too because we have this really cool thing. Kuma Burger is making a burger
Yeah.
for Go Ahead and Die for the month of February, and that was a total fucking surprise that came out of nowhere. I was like, whoa, this is awesome, dude. That's cool.
Yeah.
Um, and we have a lot of friends in Chicago, and of course, we're not going to talk about football. Everyone knows I'm a Lions fan, so
Yep.
but I love Chicago as the town itself. Always love. I have mad love for the city, for the fans. I think it's gonna be great.
Yeah, it is without a doubt. It is. I can't wait for that. Um, you said in the book that the nail bomb stuff was fun because there was no pressure. Not like you had with Sepultura, to make something better than the last album and stuff. I would imagine this was kind of the same thing for you. It's away from Soulfly, Sepultura legacy. You're having fun. You're doing what you love to do. Uh, that's the case, right? The whole project a lot of fun for you.
Oh yeah, very much. I mean, in fact, Go Ahead and Die is so similar with Nail Bomb in
Mhm.
this aspect. Even the way we create the stuff, um, the majority of the songs was me and Igor jamming together. Um, before we even had Johnny playing drums. So it's just like me and Igor, very similar how me and Alex molded the whole first Nail Bomb record. And then when you have no yeah, there's no outside distraction, like there's no label saying you guys need to win a Grammy with this one. It's like it's not gonna happen.
Right.
And once you know that's not gonna happen, you feel so free. It's like there's no pressure. It's like you can just do whatever the hell you want. That's the best feeling. I love making records like this. And believe me, I enjoyed the challenge of the early Sepultura stuff, and so you can argue some of the Soulfly records had that pressure, but as far as having fun in the studio, this is the kind of record that you just do it and you just like you give zero fucks. You
Right,
know,
right. It's cool. Yeah,
it actually it goes back to really being a kid yourself. When you first played the guitar, learned the guitar, it was just that you got that rush of adrenaline just from pure, just the riffs,
yeah,
and gave you that emotion and gave you those feelings. And that's what I get from Go Ahead and Die. It's just that pure raw power that it's I still have that kid inside of me that I guard it. I don't let that die. Like the politics of music is not gonna ruin this
right.
innocence inside of me because I'm a metalhead at heart. So I fight real hard to keep those things alive, man. And I love that. I love that I still have that, and I'm a metal fan first, I'm a musician second. And that's you can see that. I think when people talk to me, they feel that there's an honest emotion about it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, and like I say, reading the book especially uh, gave me even more insight to the person that you are, how much it sits in your heart, this metal music, and the lifestyle, and well, what it means to you in your family and everything else. It was great. It was
One of the things that I hope people get from the book when they read it, I don't know if happened to you, but was one of the feelings was it's like it requires a certain amount of crazy discipline to do this thing that we do, um, and people don't see that because a lot of times people just see the flashy stuff,
right.
uh, the shows and the big festivals, but they don't know the sacrifices, man. And I was hoping the book we I could highlight some of those sacrifices. We miss so many uh Christmas, birthdays, my kids' birthdays, and uh close people to you that passes away. And I lost my mom last year, so it's like it takes you this iron discipline. You gotta have it, and you maintain, the ship's got to keep going. You just have to stay steady.
Yeah, and that's soul.
It
That's got
goes ups and
yeah,
downs, like there's nothing planned. Like I say in the book, I never planned to leave Sepultura. I thought I was gonna be with Sepultura for my whole life. That was the original plan, but that's not how life
yeah.
came at me. It came at me and it gave me a left-handed, and you have to get up and do something with it. So I created Soulfly, and now at this point of my career, it's a bit more like, I'm getting a little bit older, and I want to spend my time with worth things that are worthwhile, that are worth to me are worth it.
Yeah.
Go Ahead and Die is one of them. I know for some people that's a little bit maybe even hard to understand. Why would this guy that it has all these legendary things wants to spend time in a smaller band? But I tell you why, because of the whole excitement that creates, like when you're starting something small again like that, it's so cool, man. It's like you against the world.
Yeah, and you become that kid again.
Yes, very much. And it's great. It's a great feeling, man.
Yeah.
And to do that with my son, that tops everything.
Yeah, I thought about that, and it's like, man, this is so great. It's your youngest son, Igor Amadeus, and you do Zion. Zion is the drummer for Soulfly, right? Uh,
Yeah.
that's so cool. It's great. Is there a difference working with Igor and Zion? I mean, are they two totally different kids, a totally different experience?
Oh, very much, very much. Yeah.
Yeah,
They're quite different from each other, which is cool. I like
yeah,
that. Igor is more really into metal. to the core like me. He's a fan of the music, and is really invested in the bands that he likes. He knows he knows Neurosis track number 7 of of the third record. I
Right.
don't. I don't. He knows that.
Right.
So he is very passionate about that, and he's more kind of like more. I think of him more of this really old wise soul. He's very wise, almost like a sorcerer, or like it's really cool. He's a deep person. And Zion is very different. He's more on the sports side of things. He takes care of his
Okay.
body, and he's all about keeping healthy, eating healthy, and maintain he's always on my ass for trying to get me to go healthy, to stay healthy and good diets and all this stuff. And then when it comes to drumming and stuff, he's a bit more classic as far as music. He likes more classic stuff like Sabbath, and um like old school Maiden, and which is really cool. Like, so I get kind of both, best of both worlds with both of them. I
Yeah.
get to really go with Igor. I go to down, like, get really on the raw, extreme shit, like just
Right.
go balls out. And with Zion is more part of Soulfly. It's a bit like a bigger thing. It feels like it definitely like uh, a wider kind of band, and we play bigger shows, and it's cool. It's really great to experience both
Yeah.
relationship with kids like that. And we have a weird, unique family anyway. It's a metal family.
Yep. Yep.
I think we're kind of like yeah, apart from the Osbourne, I think we're kind of like the second, yes, I guess, real metal family. It is a metal family where almost everybody in the family is connected to
Yeah.
metal one
Yeah.
way or another.
I noticed that. Yeah. And
Yeah, Gloria does all the business, and I told her, like, you do the business because I don't want that to corrupt me.
right.
I don't want to know the business, because that would be bad for me, and it will make me bitter, and I don't want to turn into a bitter person. And so you deal with that shit. You deal with the business. Let me just do the
Nice.
art. I deal with the art side of things. So which is great. Works great for us.
Yep. Yep. You don't have to go to that dark place that the business takes you, you know.
Exactly. And I don't want to. That's why
Oh,
I wrote Primitive, because of that, because I was like frustrated with all the politics of music. So I wrote, back to the primitive, fuck all the politics.
yeah.
People, some people think I'm talking about politics of Washington, but it's
Right.
it's more the music politics. You got to kiss that guy's ass to get on that tour.
Yep.
It's like, nah, none of that shit, man.
Yep. You do what you do, and Gloria takes care of that kind of stuff. Yep.
Exactly,
That's
exactly.
great. That's great. Um, you feel like your approach to music has changed, as you become a father and you're working with your kids. Is it easier to work with family than it is, somebody else? Does the approach to music change?
I don't know. I'm very easy to work with, as far as music goes. I don't know. I'm very when it comes to metal and music, I get along with almost anybody that I can sit down with. I think I'll sit down with Willie Nelson, and I'll have a song in half an hour. We'll get something going. That's just how I am naturally. So I'm very comfortable with musicians. Let's just say that. It's like, to me, I never get really flustered or uncomfortable. It's always I'm really comfortable when I'm sitting with musicians. It's something that just happens. I just have fun. I just want to have fun with the situation. Now with the kids, playing with your kids, of course, it's a bit different. Uh, Maybe I know them very well, and they know me, but in the end of the day, it's like you gotta be, I'm not. I didn't just put them in the band with me because they're my kids. I put them because they're good to play
Right.
this shit. They were if they weren't any good, that would be a case of like, maybe I need to wait a little longer. You guys need to get better at this shit first.
Right. Right.
Uh, but that wasn't the case. They got really good, man. And it's like jamming with them and jamming with some of the old ex Soulfly members to me felt really similar. So um yeah, I just kind of I just roll with it, man. But it's really it's really cool. It's like an old dream. Like when I had them when they were born, I was always hope, one day I hope it'd be cool if we get to jam. I think it's every dad's kind of dream, if you
Totally.
get to do that with your kid. I think I even believe like LeBron James with his kid playing basketball is pretty much probably the same situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, it's a
You know,
dad thing. It's a dad. You love to do something with your kid, and the the strange, weird thing is that kids supposed to rebel against the parents because the parents are too strict. That doesn't happen here.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah.
They can rebel against me because I'm
Worse than them, right?
yeah, I'm naughtier. I'm more naughty than them. It's like there's no rebelling here, man.
I love it, man.
I'm more gnarly than you. I promise you.
Science tried to keep you in line, right?
There you go. Yeah.
And it's cool. As fans, we love to see family doing this, and it's great. We feel so good for you and for the kids, and hearing Zion's heartbeat right on Resistor on the KSAD album. Um,
Yeah.
and then it had to be amazing to hear him actually play the song with you guys, and Soulfly and stuff. That's how cool is that? It's just that's so great, man. It's really
Yeah,
cool.
that was one of the things. It's one of the reason why we had the song in the set list, uh, especially the last Soulfly tour. We kept Refuse and Resist on the set list. It was mostly because of that, because I was like,
Yeah,
he's 30, the record is 30 years old. Um, and it was like, it's crazy to me thinking 30 years ago, I was inside uh, a hospital room recording his heartbeat, with headphones and
yeah.
microphones. And I remember the nurses kicking me out and all this madness, but I got it. I got the recording, and it made it through the record. And I think it's really cool. It's one of the most unique album intros
Yep.
that it's out there. And it's cool that 30 years later I get to jam with him in a record. Those things are special. They definitely make for a special feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. And like I say, as fans, we love seeing that shit. It's great. um, and another thing we love seeing is the Cavalera conspiracy. Cavalera, you getting back with your brother, of course. Um, we love that. You and Igor, and in the book, reading about you two as kids, so close. It's really great. It was great to see Cavalera. Will we hear any more from Cavalera?
So yeah, we have a little bit more touring left to do. I know that we have a bunch of festivals in Europe
Yeah,
in the summer.
excellent.
Um, Hopefully we do another run, of US shows. I think that would be cool for some people that didn't had a chance to catch it on the last run. There was still some cities that we didn't play. I think Chicago is one of them. I don't
Uh-huh.
think we played. I think
That's cool.
we didn't play the city.
Right.
So that would be cool. Nothing booked yet. This is
Yeah.
just spit,
Yeah.
but yeah, something like that would be cool. But I am preparing, working on a new Soulfly as well this year.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so cool, man. Tell me,
I have some time.
just curious, have you listened to any Sepultura after you left the band?
I haven't.
Yeah.
you know, like it's like, you know, like people say, like if you break up with your wife and she marries somebody else, you don't really go on the Facebook and go see what they're doing. You know, it's like
Right.
the distance. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind. I kind of feel kind of like that. You know, so it's like I have no interest. You know,
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff to keep me busy with this, and yeah, I just
Hmm.
it's a fair question, and I'm sure a lot of people wonder about that, but yeah, I haven't.
Yeah. Yeah. And Soulfly is about to get ready to do another record, right? You had Totem in 2022, and you're working on something there. That's good news, man.
Yeah, it
Definitely.
probably will not come out to next year.
Okay.
We have a 3 year break between Totem and the new record, which is about it's about right. It's about the the amount of time I like between Soulfly records is between 2, 3, sometimes even 4 years. It's cool to wait between records, but more than that, you start going into that two territory of 10, 12, 15 years between records. That's too much, and then I'll be, you know, I'll be 80 or 90. I make
But we
my
get
first.
other records from you, man. I mean, you're always doing something.
Yeah, I have all the projects.
Yeah, Kill or Be Killed. Will we see anything from that?
Hopefully, too. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I love that, man. That was great. Really cool. Um, you mentioned in the book, again, you would love for other Brazilian bands to follow you in your footsteps to international success, the metal bands. And I know there's a lot of metal bands in Brazil. Why do you think that hasn't happened?
That I have no idea. You know, I think
We're not paying attention, maybe.
yeah, maybe there's a lot of bands. There's a lot of
Yeah,
metal. Yeah, they love metal there, and a lot
yeah,
of really cool bands.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know, man. You know, it's like it's a mystery to me.
yeah,
Eventually, I think you'll get better in the future, though. You will see more of that, and from everywhere, from all different parts of the world. I think we're gonna see more metal coming out of different areas of the world.
yeah, yeah. It's cool. How about an album of Brazilian music in Portuguese? You talked
What's that?
about it, right? An album of Brazilian music done in Portuguese.
Yeah,
You talked about that, in the book. You say, "I'll do it one day."
one
Uh,
day,
you
actually,
know,
it's in the plan. It's in the plans.
that's
Yeah.
cool. That's cool. Yeah, that would be an interesting thing. Again, apart from the other stuff that you do. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'll let you go, Max. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you at Reggie's. You're there February 23rd. Everybody can check out the record and check out the tour. All the links will be in the description. Max Cavalera, thank you so much, Max.
Thank you, brother.
All
Appreciate you.
right.
See you.
Take care,
Bye.
bud. Bye.